Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of TEDXcellence, the show where I'm constantly being visited by strangers from another planet. And Dogcat Fox keeps tipping over their probes. And I come to you live from Crater Valley on the moon with Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to Thursday, Terrestrial Thursday. Yes, we return once again to the wonderful world of off-brand TED Talks to learn something and bask in the misery of other people, I guess. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, who's joining me on this beautiful Thursday evening? First, Walter Tomaszewski. Thank you so much, Walter. Scribe, my cats love your jokes. Keep on keeping on. Well, I'm glad my humor is at the level of cat. I suppose if I could entertain all the cats in the world, all the cat owners would be happy. So it's kind of a proxy thing. Thank you, Walter. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good evening. Hope you enjoyed the show. The Alexander, good evening. Keeverdam, good evening. And thank you, Keeverdam, as always, for providing the link, guys, at the top of the chat box to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society donation page. If you can take a look at that when you have the opportunity. If you are able to donate, please do so. But even if you can't, if you can share that out on social media, that would be appreciated. So thank you for that ahead of time. And thank you, Keeverdam, for providing the link. Who else is here? Advocatus Diaboli, good evening. Kay Roberts, good evening. Funtime Bats, hello. Shady Grin, hello. Angela Ariaga, good evening. Kiro Soldier, hello. Samnamnyon Nation, good evening. Tack Alpaca, good evening. Mike R, good evening to you. Who else is here? Anybody else? Oh, Alice Morgan, good evening. The Luke Skywalker 2, good evening. Bishop, hello. Angelverse, hello. Toot Sweet, good evening. John Trioxin, good evening to you. Dexter's Killer Lab, good evening. Who else is here? Anybody else? Found has been found. Asan, good evening. Blitz Zero, hello. And Simon Willikins, good evening. Hope you're all doing well. Anybody I missed, anybody's lurking, anybody in the future, good evening. So tonight is the night where we talk Gen Z. Why Gen Z struggles to find work-life balance. Oh, boy. Poor Gen Z. You know, as we know, every other generation prior to Gen Z had no problem finding work-life balance. It's really just, it's very unique. Gen Z is just, what's wrong? Now, coming into this, my first thought was, oh no, poor Gen Z. Or what could happen here, it's possible that the implication of this title is more introspective. Like, what is up with Gen Z that they struggle to find such work-life balance? What's particularly unique to them that they're having such a problem where everybody else has less of a problem? Maybe that's it. So it's either going to be a sob story or self-revelation, or maybe something in between. Or maybe it'll be an advertisement for an app or something. I don't know. But we'll find out together. Tack Alpaca, thank you so much for the happy, smiley, oh, lovely, cheeky Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox.
Wowie, wow, wow.
Ooh, that's a Shadow Claw Dogcat Fox. Creepy Dogcat Fox. Thank you, Attack Alpaca. Appreciate it. Tier Alexander, good evening. Moon-based security. Well, you were doing your job today. That's right. They tried to send in another drone. Tried to send another spy mission. Now, the Blue Ghost, it made it. But it's on the other side of the crater from me. But, that, whatever they call it, new technologies thing or whatever, that NASA-funded deal, that seemed to tip over again. Again, it tipped over. Were you in the boat when the boat tipped over? But, so that was that today. And also, Adabisi, good evening to you. But, so get your bingo cards ready. Today's bingo card is bingo card B. B as in prioritizing your time. That was the winner of the poll on the Twitter machine, or the X machine, to decide which element of adulting needed to win today. If you'd like to join in on the poll each week to choose which bingo card we use, you can always follow me on X at scribe_light. I still haven't gotten around to changing the logo on my overlays because I have a lot of overlays and it would just be a tedious thing to do. So yeah, the Tweety Bird is still there, but you know what I'm talking about. Links to the bingo cards are in the description below. So get your bingo card B ready and follow along as we watch why Gen Z struggles to find work-life balance. I'll start off with a few seconds for a sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear it, and then we will proceed.
When I was 10 years old,
which was like yesterday. Everybody hear that okay? When I was 10 years old. We're already starting off with childhood or family anecdote. We don't even have to go that far. So I'm going to circle that one on the board already. Let's see. Where is it on this board? Childhood or family anecdote. There you are down in the corner. Okay. So childhood or family anecdote. Circling that one. And also free space because it's free. We'll review the bingo card in its entirety shortly. But everybody hear that okay? Mic R sounds good. Advocatus can hear it. All right. Let's go back so I get the fullness of this introduction.
When I was 10 years old, I posted my first video to YouTube.
I posted my first video to YouTube when I was 38.
And I was immediately hooked. I said to myself, this is it. This is my dream job. This is what I want to do when I'm older.
Yeah, well, you think a lot of things when you're 10 years old, right?
So that's what I did.
Uh-huh.
And over the past 12 years, I've been creating YouTube content, and that's led me to now being a YouTuber.
Oh, well, I was a YouTuber as soon as I posted my first video. It didn't take 12 years, right? I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound.
I'm grown up, and that's my job.
You're grown up? How old are you? Oh my gosh, we have a Midnight's Edge raid. What? Is there a Midnight's Edge contingent in the chat right now or coming in the chat? Hello, Midnight's Edge. Hail to thee, Mead. Or those of you coming in, I see some people here already. But Gulf City Peterbilt Confederacy, good evening. Where's the Meads? Joey, good evening. Okay, Roberts, hello. I meant to click on. Everybody's moving in so quickly. Oh my God. Diluted Reality 89, good evening. Kelly Ikioki, good evening. Deeple 101, Monkey Jeebus, holy cats. Where the hell am I? I need an adult. We're not going to find them here. This is about Gen Z. Flying blind on a rocket cycle. Holy cow. I usually, when I hear that name said out loud, it's usually by Tom Connors reading out a super chat. I think that might be the first time I've said that out loud. That's amazing. Josh Hammond, good evening. And Theodore Winch Ginger, good evening. All right, guys. Well, for those of you joining late, we just started, so you haven't missed much of anything. We have a Gen Zer, I think, who's going to tell us why Gen Z struggles to find work-life balance. Because A, Gen Z is the most, oppressed and struggling generation on the planet because it's so hard for them to operate. Or it's going to be an introspective look at why Gen Z is unique amongst other generations in trying to find work-life balance. I don't know, but our speaker was just telling us that he's a totes YouTuber, much more a YouTuber than Mexican Iron Man.
Now, over the past 12 years of my career, I found myself living in these extremes that have hindered me from reaching my dreams.
Okay, such as?
Feelings of isolation, ineffectiveness, burnout, and vanity.
Okay, all right. I mean, to a certain extent, depending on how this goes, I could understand. I mean, I felt burnout before in the YouTube sphere. Ineffectiveness, certainly, yelling into the wind about DEI for the better part of 8 years, and only now, seeing some kind of results, not because I did anything, but just because finally society caught up. But okay, sure.
Maybe you in the audience right now can relate. Maybe you feel like you're in one of these categories right now.
Hey, people in the audience, have you ever felt something that is a common element of the human experience at one point or another in your life? Yes. Oh, by the way, that's a list over on the bingo card. For those of you joining from Midnight's Edge who haven't participated before, we do TEDx bingo here. The bingo cards are linked in the description below. We're on bingo card B tonight. That's B as in boy, or burnout, as it were. So far on the board, we have free space circled and a list and childhood or family anecdote. Let's go over the bingo card once to remind everybody what we are listening for as we go through this presentation. Again, bingo card B. Marginalization, it's possible. Self-vilification or wretchedness, we'll see. Contradicts own point or fails to make argument. Feminism, unconscious bias or microaggressions. Privilege, benevolent condescension. Weightless example or non sequitur, plays victim, collectivizes own demographic. I think the title already does that for us, but we'll wait for him to say so in the presentation. Economic disparity, I think that's also oncoming. Deceptive statistics, possible. Attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase. possible. Mind reading or assumes motives. Patriarchy. Anecdote that probably never happened. And remember, that has to be an anecdote that's just too perfect for words or reality. Diversity, equity, and or inclusion, if that's mentioned. White supremacy or some variant thereof. Systemic or institutional. Leaves out vital context. Sales pitch for product or service. And lastly, word salad. But so far on the board, bingo card B, we have free space, a list, and childhood or family anecdote. Kiever Dam, thank you so much. Tomorrow is my anniversary at my job, so I'll be getting my vacation days back, so I won't burn out. Yay! And you know why you have those vacation days? Because you earned them, like an adult, which our presenter, I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see how he processes these difficulties in life. But thank you, Kiever Dam, so very much, and happy anniversary at sticking to it. I know you have some grumbles and trumbles with your job, but maintaining employment is important for an adult. Thank you, Alan Thyler, for the happy, smiley dog cat fox. Oh, dog cat fox.
Wowie, wow, wow.
Oh, there's an irate Alex dog cat fox. By the way, irate Alex, for those of you that don't know, he and his girlfriend, I don't think they're married yet. I think they're living in sin. I could be mistaken. Just had their first child together. A healthy little baby. So happy birthday to the baby. And congratulations to Alex. And there's a nickname for her. I think her name is Kristen. Man, I'm going to lose it. I'm terrible. I just had a senior moment. Alex's girlfriend, mother of his child. I apologize. I am blanking. I need to speak to you in person one time. That'll set it in my mind. I'm terrible. Anyway, moving on.
My friends Eric Brown and Taylor Jones came up with this idea of the agency axis in their book titled Agency. The agency axis is a 2x2 grid that talks about these four extremes and helps you to identify where you might be right now within your working career.
Well, that could be buzzword, buzz phrase, and product or service. Let's see how we go.
However, I believe that these four extremes do not need to be our default consequence when working hard and pursuing our dreams.
Wow, you don't think so? Golly, I'm amazed. What is your solution? How old are you again?
I believe there's a way to find true rest, true balance in our work.
Oh, okay, guys, here we go. True balance. Wait, True Balance, isn't that a shoe brand? Wait a second.
Take that paper and pen out from your gift bag. We're going to do a quick exercise.
What? I didn't get a gift bag. Oh man. Okay, I got a Post-it note and a ink pen over here. I got to make my own gift bag. That sounds like an innuendo of something. Anyway, all right, I've got a pen, I got a piece of paper. What am I supposed to do now? I love audience participation. Yep.
Draw a horizontal line across the page.
Okay.
This is the x-axis.
Oh my God, the x-axis? Oh man, this is already complicated. I'm an English major. I hate math.
After you've done that, think to yourself.
Yeah.
Am I someone who tends to think about my ambitions, my career, my goals, my dreams?
Yeah.
Or am I someone who loves to be with others, talk about others' dreams, spend time with others, serving others?
Well, I do hate people, so I guess I'd be on that end of the spectrum. Okay, sure. All right.
Plot yourself somewhere along this x-axis.
I think I'm at the far extreme on the left-hand side. I think that's also implicative of something spiritual in the wrong way. The left-hand path. Silence. Okay.
And now draw a vertical line through the middle of that x-axis.
Okay. Vertical line. Okay. Arrow. Okay. Have a positive impact or be good at what you do. Oh, well, why not both? Why can't I be good at what I do, which has a positive impact? Thank you, Kieverdam. Speaking of math, 2016 to 1979, 37. Are you correcting me? Are you correcting me on my math? That is a fool's errand, Kieverdam. All right, fine. I was 37 when I started YouTube. Damning with faint praise. Jeez. And thank you, Kiradam. Seriously, that's very, very generous of you. Happy anniversary again.
This is called the mission mastery tension.
Uh-huh.
Once again, think to yourself, am I someone who wants to have a positive impact on this world? I love the mission. I love thinking and talking about the mission and the greater good.
The
Or
greater good.
am I someone who wants to be really good at what I do?
Why can't I do both? What if I'm a really, really good brain surgeon? Right? What if I'm like the world-class Doctor Strange before he had his car accident brain surgeon? I'm really good at what I do, and I have a positive impact on people, but I'm also a jerk who only cares about my career. These things can happen.
You love the details. You
Yeah.
love the logistics.
Mm,
I'll be honest, this one's probably me.
okay.
I love perfecting my craft. I love making sure everything I do is perfect.
Well, then explain that tie.
But maybe you're somewhere in the middle. Plot yourself on that axis.
Okay, I have. I'm at the extreme left on the one instance, and I'm on the extreme bottom on the other. But in reality, I'm a top.
Now, this is the full agency axis.
Hmm.
Find that intersection point where those 2 points align. And plot yourself in one of these 4 quadrants.
Okay. Yeah. I'm all right.
Let's first start with the bottom left quadrant, isolation.
Oh, that's me. I am isolation. I am pure isolation. I am like 100% undistilled isolation or distilled isolation. Either, you know what I mean. Pure as the undriven snow isolation. I'm a hermit.
In 2013, when I started becoming a YouTube creator, I posted one video.
Wait. You were 10 years old in 2013. That means you're 20, what? 22 when this is being... Oh, good gravy. Your brain hasn't even finished developing yet.
Every single day. And I did that for 7 years.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, my production schedule in those early years of YouTube, man, I was putting out 1 or 2 videos, maybe 3 a week. I was on a tear. I was so into it. And then things started to slow down. Now I only do 4 or 5 streams a week live without a net or even Cubby. And if you get that joke, you watched a lot of Mickey Mouse Channel or Disney Channel Mickey Mouse Club. You know what I'm talking about.
Why? I loved YouTube. That's all I wanted to do. That was my ambition. That was my goal every day, was get home off the school bus, right to the basement, get up, get the iPad out, and make a YouTube video.
Yeah, because you had no other responsibilities or obligations. It's great when you're young like that, huh?
That's what I love to do.
Yeah.
However, I was so focused on perfecting every single video.
Yeah.
I was so focused on my own goals and desires that I found myself isolated.
Yes, it does take time and, dedication to a craft to do it well, or at least try to learn more. It's true. I might recommend live streaming. It frees things up just a bit, because I know the travails of having to capture footage, write a script, record audio, edit the video together, master it, balance out all the sound and everything, watch it once, make sure there aren't any errors, watch it again to make sure there aren't any errors. And if you're doing true crime, holy cats, I cannot tell you the pain of subtitling, doing your own subtitles for like interrogation footage and the like. Ugh. When I watch guys like Stave over at Stay Awake or Mad Orchard or Dave's Lemonade, when they have to put up subtitles and things, it looks so simple. We take it for granted. When you have to do that by hand, it is no fun.
Isolated from friends.
Yep.
Family.
Yeah.
I really had no friends growing up. YouTube was my entire life.
Not healthy.
My identity was in my YouTube career, my channel, my views, my subscribers. That was everything to me.
Not healthy.
So after 7 months of posting daily content creation, it was starting to catch up to me.
Okay.
In 2019, a popular game emerged.
Angry Birds.
You see, my YouTube channel was based around this game called NBA Live Mobile. Maybe.
Okay. That had not come to mind. No. Is this a sales pitch for product, or I'm still waiting? It's like, were you talking about the book? Are you talking about the game now?
You've heard of it.
Yeah, maybe.
And in fall of 2019, this brand new game was taking the world by storm. It's called Fortnite.
Oh no, not Fortnite. I've never played Fortnite. I probably never will.
And it ultimately killed my channel. All of my viewers left. stopped playing NBA Live Mobile and started to watch Fortnite creators.
So go where the market leads you and play Fortnite?
My views were hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, and then ultimately they went to zero.
Oh, you're going to have to adapt to the market. Oh my gosh, you might be learning something about capitalism.
I was distraught.
Oh,
My entire life was being a YouTuber. I lost the fans, I lost the views, I lost the subscribers.
so you got to chase that clout. What did you do? How did you adapt and evolve? Or did you? The bow tie tells me nothing.
My dreams were over.
Ah.
And so what I did was I quit. I stopped posting videos.
You hit one bump and you said, to heck with it. Nobody else wants to watch me play a basketball game from 3 years ago. So I'm just going to stop. All right. Well, you found a new hobby, right? Because that's what YouTube was. Unless you, were you making money? How much money were you making at 10 or 15 or whatever it was when you stopped?
I did nothing. I thought my YouTube dreams were over. I started applying for colleges, took the ACT, toured campuses like Penn State. I did not want to go to any college. I just wanted to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, well, sometimes in life we have to do things we don't want to do. And sometimes in life it's ill-advised to wear those sneakers with that outfit. But you did it anyway, didn't you?
A few months later, COVID hit.
Oh, boy.
And it unlocked a couple more hours more in my schedule with remote classes. I wanted to get back into doing something YouTube related. And my friend at the time said, hey, I'm looking for an editor. Could you edit my videos? I said, sure, let's do it. I love YouTube. I love editing. So I did that.
If you love editing, then I think you've already found your calling there. You're a lucky guy if you do. Editing is, I mean, I'll say, depending on the video and what I was doing, editing sometimes was the most fun part because that's where the inspiration came in, like to insert a new joke or to rearrange things a little bit or to, you know, bring a callback from another piece of the story or something like that. So I guess in the grand scheme, the most fun was the editing process. But there was this weird, and I'm sure it's not unique to me at all, but after doing all the work for an edited video, especially one that I was really into, like one of my true crime ones or one of my commentary ones or something, and then I'd put it out there, it was like that entire elation kind of dropped, and I was suddenly back into the, I got to do something else. I got to make something else. Like that need, that drive, that addiction, like built up again. There was this release for a moment, a little sense of accomplishment, and then I had to start over again, or else I felt like I'd lose that momentum. I'm sure that's not, again, not unique to me or any other kind of artist.
And that led to another client, and 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 then I found myself with dozens of clients after just a few months because I loved it. I was good at it.
Yeah.
However, I wasn't taking care of myself.
Well, with that haircut, I can believe it.
I was so focused on others, so focused on my mission, but I wasn't making any YouTube videos for myself.
Well, maybe were you making money? Were you making a living?
I was ineffective. Maybe this is you right now. We all know someone who might be a little bit ineffective.
I'll not name names. I'm really not going to. I can just imagine right now, those of you that are listening to me for a while, whose name you thought was going to be filled in just a second there. Who do you think I might dunk on out of my friends list?
They love the mission. They love talking about transformation. And they love others, but maybe they, at the end of the day, they struggle getting their work done. Maybe that's you, and that's okay.
Oh, thanks. I needed your leave to feel good about myself and my non-productive nature at times.
Fast forward, having dozens and dozens of YouTube editing clients. At one point, I just said, I'm getting exhausted. I've been staying up late every night. I've been gaining weight, getting no sleep, not taking care of myself. I think I'm burnt out.
That did happen to me in one instance, and I've talked about this before, back when I did custom ads for people on Lords of the Night. Everybody loved them, And in a lot of ways, I love doing them. But at a certain point, I just took on too much. It became too much of my brain power and energy over the course of the week. And I kept worrying and getting anxious about getting them done. I didn't want to leave anybody behind. I didn't want to leave anybody unfulfilled in their requests. And at a certain point, I just had to draw the line and say, I need to stop. I'm spending more time focusing on all these other things. And I've got other stuff I have to focus on. It stopped being fun. It's not that I didn't enjoy it or didn't appreciate it, but it was just, I gotta, and so I had to pull back from something that I enjoyed, but was too much birthday cake, as it were.
And that's exactly where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I had too many clients. I couldn't sustain it. So I had to give them up.
Yep.
I was burnt out. I couldn't do it anymore. I had no more energy to keep going.
Okay. That has nothing to do with Gen Z. I'm still waiting for the Gen Z factor of this, because everything he's talking about, I mean, it might be applicable to the quote unquote current generation because of the platform, YouTube, but it's got nothing to do explicitly with him being Gen Z. That's just a normal possibility of someone who's a workaholic or gets caught up in too many obligations. So what does this have to do with Gen Z?
So I started from square one. I came to Penn State. I'm an entrepreneurship major.
Wait, square one? Is Pat Tuesday involved?
And I stumbled across this place called the Happy Valley Launchbox downtown in State College.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Launchbox one day and said, hey, I'd love to build a sustainable and scalable business that won't cause me to burn out. And I want to be a YouTuber. And they said, okay.
Also over in the chat real quick, Dina B, hello. Red Feather 1, hello. Empress, New Mexico. Until I see otherwise, that's what I'm going to say. Alan Thyler, hello. Did I already say hello, Alan Thyler? I don't know if I did say hello to Alan Thyler. Hello, Alan Thyler. But, who else? Advocast Diablo, did I already say hello? If I didn't say hello, hello. That's my short memory as I'm overwhelmed with this wisdom from the mop top bow tie.
We've never had anyone want to be a YouTuber before, but we can figure it out.
You've never had anyone be a YouTuber before. Nobody at Penn State had ever wanted to be a YouTuber before. Well, probably because it's a very iffy career-focused pathway, but okay.
They said, how about you do this? Talk to some sports fans.
What?
Figure out what they're doing right now in terms of how they consume content.
With their teeth.
Do they watch traditional media? Do they read the newspaper? Do they read the Bleacher Report app? So that's what I did.
I'm sure they're reading the newspaper a lot. What?
I asked a dozen of my friends, hey, how do you consume sports content? And what I found was there's a gap in the market between Gen Z sports fans and traditional media.
Ooh, really? Tell me about the gap. And not because of their jeans and sweaters.
People my age really don't watch TV to get their news. They go
what?
On TikTok or YouTube.
What? Are you? I am shocked. Guys, do you know that people don't watch TV as much anymore as they consume content on YouTube and the intertubes and TikTok and Twitter? Did you know this? I'm just over.
Of course.
Well, golly gee whiz. What a revelation. And what did you do with this hidden wisdom?
Or Instagram.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I have a background on YouTube. This is perfect. Let's build a company that solves this need.
Oh no. Is this really going to be sales pitch for product or service? Like an actual, like his, I was joking at the top of this. Oh boy, please tell me it's an app. Please tell me it's an app.
So that's what I did.
Yeah.
I assembled some friends here at Penn State. We started posting videos to YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah.
And in just 8 months, we had 100,000 subscribers on TikTok.
Okay.
I was like, oh my goodness. My dreams, they're happening again. I'm a creator. I'm a YouTuber.
TikTok isn't YouTube. Hey. Wait a second.
A few months later, we had 100,000 followers on YouTube.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I was like going for wait a second. 100,000 followers on TikTok is not make you a YouTuber. Wait, okay.
It was happening. We had brands reaching out to us left and right. Hey,
Really?
can you promote this product? Absolutely. Hey, can you promote this? Sure.
Yeah, we won't look into it at all. We won't vet it where it comes from or how it's made or whether it's any good. Yeah, sure.
They were throwing money at us.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't really use the product or service, we would promote it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we wanted to be YouTubers. I wanted to be a YouTuber.
You wanted money. You wanted clout. Ha 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 ha. You were being used. You were being used. Did you figure that part out?
We won a few pitch competitions here at Penn State, raised some money, and we were scaling.
Aha.
It was happening.
What was your product? What did you produce? What service did you provide exactly?
I was living the dream. I was a YouTuber.
And then?
I needed a little bit more money to be able to graduate with this as a full-time job. So we had a few sports betting companies reach out to us.
This is going down a dark path very quickly.
Personally, I don't sports bet. A lot of our team doesn't sports bet. Honestly, I don't think it's a good thing for this world.
But we took the sponsor money, didn't you? You took the sponsor money, didn't you?
But they were throwing lots of money at us.
Oh, man. Tell me more. Tell me more.
More money than I've ever seen.
And
honestly?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Yeah.
I really wanted to take it.
Oh, what? Did your integrity shine through? Did you stop yourself? Please tell me you did. Just for the sake of my own sense of humanity. Tell me that you stopped for a second and say, wait a second. Do I really want to promote an activity and a behavior I don't actually partake in and I think is questionable to my young followers? And
so we set up some meetings with them.
Yeah.
And we were about to sign a contract.
And then?
More money than I'd ever seen. This would finally put me over the line and I could be a YouTuber. And then? The night before that closing meeting, I was in bed, about to go to sleep.
Well, I hope you weren't in bed about to take a bath.
Thought to myself, wait, why am I even doing this?
The money. The money.
I don't even sports bet myself. Let alone do I think it's a good thing for this world.
Oh my gosh. Well, could you tell me more about your virtuous stance and drag it out any further?
Why?
Tell me why ain't nothing but a wallet thing.
I found myself in vanity.
Vanity? Well, that's one of the best Smurfs.
I had this wave of guilt over me.
Oh, no.
Justin, why are you doing that?
Money!
That's not you. That's not taking care of your fan base.
Did you... Wait, how... Okay. How did you take care of your fan base prior to this by hawking products you didn't even use? But, okay, whatever.
You're promoting exploitative products. Don't do that.
Promoting exploitative products. Every product is exploitative. I'm trying to get you to give me money for this thing. I mean, there are ranges of morality and ethicality depending on the product, but every product is exploitative after a fashion.
And so we canceled the meeting, didn't sign the contract, didn't take the deal.
Okay, wow, good for you.
Fortunately, over the past few years, we've been blessed. We've had a ton of brands reach out to us that want to work with us, and they've been able to help me become a full-time YouTuber now that I graduated a few months ago.
You know, a lot of YouTubers didn't have to go through all this rigmarole to become a quote-unquote full-time YouTuber. But of course, it all depends on your gimmick. It depends on your talent. Depends on your fan base, your SEO, your marketing, or you're just dumb luck sometimes. I don't know any of this stuff because I'm not really that much of a YouTuber. I'm more of a YouTuber than Mexican Iron Man, though. Kiro Soldier, thank you so much. Demone. Mel Brooks reference. Thank you, Kiro Soldier. And appropriate enough since you sent me a couple of bucks. Thank you. Your internet's favorite lunatic, man discovered guilt. Yeah, I know. Gen Z discovered morality. Well, money's not everything. There's still my personal integrity. Well, yeah, that's true. I will give him a point for adulting there. And what's the point of this again? And what does this have to do with Gen Z? Again, aside from the platforms listed for his wares, none of this is specific to any particular generation. It's just the human experience.
But you might find yourself in one of these points right now. Maybe you're feeling like you're in vanity. Maybe you feel like you're ineffective. Maybe you're exhausted and you're burnt out, or you're...
I'm not burnt out. I'm not exhausted. Vanity, I mean, there's vanity, and then there's just sort of self-confidence. Trying to find which is which has been kind of a struggle in my life, because I don't want to be like those guys that picked on me as a kid who are all arrogant, but I also don't want to be a complete sad sack, and I don't want to get too full of myself. It's always been that kind of weird balancing act, self-checking act on certain things. Don't buy your own press. That's always a tough one. Be, healthfully self-deprecating. What does that look like? I still don't know for sure. But as far as ineffective, I guess it depends on how you measure success. And how do I measure success? Why, with Bridges Inclusion Index. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're isolated, and you realize that. That's okay.
Yeah, okay.
We're likely always going to be in one of these quadrants.
Mm-hmm.
That's the temptation of life.
The temptation of life? Okay. The temptation of life. What?
The goal here
is
to find true balance. And where
you go to the shoe store. Oh wait, is that New Balance? That's New Balance, not True. That's New Balance, not True Balance. My bad. For a second, I thought a really good joke there. Find true balance. Support your arches.
And true balance. And where does that lie? Right in the middle.
Oh, Malcolm in the Middle? Oh, that's why you look so familiar.
Agency. Agency is having complete rest with your work.
What?
It's being able to be fully involved with the mission.
The mission. Should I decide to accept it?
While also 100% perfecting your craft. It's 100% having a care for yourself and taking care of your own health and emotions, while also being 100% able to serve others and be with others and hang out with others and care about other people.
I don't think anyone could conceivably be 100% at all those things at once, unless you're like Buddha or something.
Agency is when you're 100% pulling on all four of these tensions so that you're right in the middle.
But I want to be comfy in bed. I don't want to get up and go to work.
The idea here is to not self-criticize, but rather to identify and reflect and dig. What led you to one of these four extremes? Now, how can you walk that line backward towards the center?
This is starting to sound like some MLM inspirational cult type thing. I don't know. You start putting up diagrams, start talking in like high flowery language about personal development and introspection. I'm like, Anthony Robbins, is that you there?
This hasn't just been valuable in my life.
Uh-huh.
A few months ago at one of our Today Sports town hall team meetings.
Today Sports. Is that finally the name of this thing? I've never heard of it. Anybody hear of Today Sports before? Also, I'm seeing plenty of people in the chat going word salad. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the board I should be circling around. Let's circle it. Okay, so word salad, circling that one. Let's see, countries. Plays victim? I don't know. Self-deprecation playing victim? Not sure yet. Collectivized zone demographic. Has he brought up Gen Z yet explicitly, aside from the title? I don't know. Economic disparity. Yes, the money he would have gotten versus the money he did get with the gambling deal and all that. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, sales pitch for product or service. By all means, sales pitch for product or service. Let's see. Leaves out vital context. Not sure yet. Okay, so far on the board, there's some things there that might be arguable later, but so far on the board we have economic disparity, free space, a list, childhood or family anecdote, sales pitch for product or service, and word salad. There are probably several others we can talk about shortly, but let's continue. We're almost done.
We did this exercise. We had a big whiteboard up and we plotted this 2x2 grid.
You did a sexercise? What?
Everyone came up, wrote their name on the board, exactly where they were, just like you did tonight.
Uh-huh.
One of our team members in particular, Rob, was so far deep in the bottom right corner
Mhm.
He realized that he was incredibly burnt out.
I realized I was incredibly burnt out. Boss, I need paid vacation.
And so we talked about it after. And
Uh-huh.
we said, well, why are you there? Let's identify what got you here. Let's reflect. And he said, well, I'm obviously extremely in love with the craft, the day-to-day, taking care of my work. And I love to pick up other people's work when it falls through the cracks.
Wow. What are you avoiding in your real life, Rob? What are you running away from, Rob?
So what we've learned is, okay, well, how can we get Rob in a position to think more and talk more about the mission while also taking care of himself?
How about making sure that everybody's doing their own work? I don't know. Maybe that's funny. If Rob keeps catching up and filling in for other people who should be getting their stuff done, maybe you need to go talk to the people that are leaning on Rob to take care of their responsibilities. I know it's a crazy idea.
And his own emotions and health.
Oh, yeah.
Now I believe he's been able to live a more balanced life.
How? What did you do? You bring up an active example, supposedly, of your method for better living, and then you don't tell us how you fixed it?
And he's been able to find more rest within his work.
How? Okay, leaves out vital context, circling that one real quick there. Like, okay, well, that was easy. Here's an example. Here's a success story. What am I always asking for in these things? I want an example. I want an active example of what you're talking about. I want to hear a success story about whatever method you're pitching. Great. I hear an active example and a success story and no details. Thanks for using up my time.
Change won't happen overnight.
No kidding. Well, unless it's an earthquake or a volcano or something, then change happens real quick.
I'm sure you've heard this a lot.
Uh-huh.
And that's okay. The idea is just to get 1% better every day.
Yes. Incremental changes. Uh-huh.
What can you do? What's one small thing you could do every day to get yourself closer to the center?
One small thing I could do every day to get myself closer to the center. I don't know. A cup of magic mushroom tea or something? Oh, what kind of center are we talking about? Oh, thank you, Adabisi, for... I don't know what that currency is, but it looks really cool. He said, I believe, so he doesn't know if he fixed Rob's problem. That's true. It's like, I believe we did. I have a running theory that Rob has been fixed. I don't know how, but I think so, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't really put a whole lot of assurance behind his method, whatever his method is, because put a dot on this chart of abstractions, and from there, you'll know what your current flaw is in your workflow or something. That's just goofy. Goofy. Okay. Well then, we've only got about 30 seconds left. Well, less than 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 12 seconds.
To get yourself closer to true rest.
True rest?
Closer
What?
to balance.
What the?
Closest to agency.
What?
Thank you.
What? What? Okay, that had nothing to do with Gen Z. That had nothing to do with nothing. I was hoping for something more, I don't know, dramatic or introspective or something. Filipino peso. Okay. You know, there was a, it's in my library. It's in the playlist called Race to the Bottom. I remember this now because, was it Snarled? Oh, who was the outlet? They're not even active anymore. Anyway, there was this girl who was complaining about a guy who was trying to hit on her and her friend. They were, I remember this like it was yesterday. Holy cow. This is what happens when you edit a video and it like burns in your brain. Anyway, the speaker was, the whole series was about race relations in America. And the girl speaking was Filipino. And so she was telling this story about how some guy came up to her and her friend and was trying to hit on them, was trying to get their numbers or something. And so he tried speaking to her in, I think, like, first he tried like Chinese or something. And she was like, what? And then he tried Korean or something. And she's like, what? And he says, oh, I'm just trying to say hello to you in your language. And she's like, I'm Filipino. And so he starts speaking to her in Spanish. And she's like, that's Spanish. That's not Filipino. And I was like, wait, Spanish isn't Filipino? I was like, wait, she was trying to make a point like this guy was totes racist or something. But as soon as he had more information about her ethnicity, he says something that is in a major language in the Philippines, but suddenly our offended expert is like, oh, what the call? He's not talking Filipino. It was something else. It's something else. Anyway, that just reminded me of that. Thank you, Adabisi, again. Appreciate it. C. Thomas, I know it's pretty. I know it's petty, pardon me, but I loathe the broccoli haircut. Yeah, I don't really. Not a fan. It looks like the social justice haircut you see on so many characters in like video games now and movies and such. It's just not a very attractive haircut. And I don't think I would find it attractive even if I didn't have the social justice connotation. Just kind of bizarre. I think he'd be, I'm not a hairstylist. I don't know, but just, yeah. But the bow tie and the sneakers, like, could you make yourself look more like, gee, look at me. I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm a kid at heart, but also slightly adult. Like, no, just doesn't work. Josh Hammond, Scribble said totes. I use totes all the time. I mean, you know what, Josh Hammond, you're just peanut butter and jealous. That's all you are. Yeah, because I talk the lingo. I know the jive of the youth of today. The two Utes. That's what I know. Anyway, all that being said, let's move on to the bingo card and try to make sense of this somehow, some way. Okay, so let me update it here and update it here. This is where we're at. I'll go over it once myself. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, just hold on to them, and I'll get to you momentarily. Marginalization. I didn't hear anything near to it, so now self-vilification or wretchedness. Yes, I'm going to say that because the burnt out, he felt guilty about the betting companies and everything, so a little bit there. Contradicts own point, fails to make argument. I don't even know what he was trying to do, and by the time he got to his active example, his success story, he just failed the landing on that one too. So circling that one. Feminism, no. Microaggressions or unconscious bias. I didn't hear anything like that. Privilege, and not so's you'd notice. Benevolent condescension. Yeah, talking to the audience like somehow these are all revelations that only he has come across, or things that he's thought about, or experiences that he's had, or like you're talking probably to a room full of adults who have actually lived a life, whereas you're like, what, 21, 22 or something? Oh my gosh, I've been doing nothing but YouTube and going to college. Like, maybe you should join the real world at some point. Weightless example, non sequitur. Again, I hate to double dip, but it's absolutely true. His success story was absolutely weightless. Said nothing, did nothing. Plays victim. Oh no, I don't want to do YouTube anymore because nobody's watching me play NBA mobile. Collectivizes his own demographic. Did he ever mention being Gen Z? Did he ever mention his age group? Well, no, he did when he talked about like how are sports or athletes in my generation or my age group consuming their content. So in that sense, yes, I think that's fair. Deceptive statistics. I don't think he used any. Attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase. I'm hesitant to give his chart points for buzzword buzz phrase because I didn't really hear a buzz phrase he was repeating. But I'm happy to take arguments to the contrary. Mind reading assumes motives. Well, I want to say that, boy, nobody's ever thought of this before, and I'm going to do that. Mind reading assumes motives. Like, no one's ever thought of these things before. Patriarchy, no. Anecdote that probably never happened. The only anecdotes he gave us were YouTube related. I could believe that he decided not to go Fortnite and lost interest. Okay. That he went to college. Okay. That he had an employee named Rob. He didn't give enough information for us to be able to judge whether it was a true story or not. I could believe that somebody in his realm was overburdening themselves. I don't know. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. No. White supremacy. No. Systemic or institutional. I bet there's an argument for systemic in there, but I'm not quite sure how I would word it. So I'm going to leave it there. It's up to you guys now. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, put them in the comments now. If I've already missed your comment or your argument, please just repost it, and I'll get to them as best as I can. Let's see. K. Roberts, nope, no quantitative research presented. This was all quality feelings. Yeah, I mean, the chart, even though we had x-axis and stuff, no, you never offered up any statistics of like, this is how much content athletes take from TV versus this. He mentioned it, but he didn't give us any numbers. So there you go. Toot Sweet. I'm more interested in where Rob is at life right now. Yeah, he's probably still working his fingers to the bone, just not complaining about it anymore. He's probably pretending that he's fine. Adabisi, privilege of being a child without worries to spend all his time making YouTube videos. You know, that is something. You know, he hasn't had to have any other, and he just got into college. Like, I don't know what the prerequisites for Penn State are, what the cost is or otherwise, but yeah, to be given tons and tons of money for making YouTube videos, that is a privilege in and of itself, I got to say. I'm not saying it's one that's necessarily unearned in all situations, but yeah, I'll agree with you on that one, if for no other reason. We all have a Rob. I know. This is what like performance reviews are for. And in Rob's situation, again, oh, wait, we have a bingo. I was so caught up in the conversation. I was like, wait a second. We got a bingo. I should probably hit the bingo button. Huh? Yeah, probably.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
We got our first bingo. Oh my gosh, I was so caught up. Anybody else for anything else? Empress, New Mexico. Rob likely got a job at an Amazon fulfillment where, yeah, exactly. He's in heaven. He doesn't have to pay attention to anything else, and he can avoid all the darkness, all the sourness in life. Just work, and never have to think about anything else. Advocatus, anecdote that probably didn't happen. There is no Rob, or I suspect Rob was him. Ooh. Do we have a Fight Club situation going on here? I don't know. I don't think he gave us enough info there. I think if it had been him, we might have had some actually like tangible details about how he solved his problem. I don't know. Red Feather, apparently performance reviews are racist or something. I guess. But, you know, if I was a manager and I heard that one of my employees was burning out because he was picking up the slack for so many other people, I'd be getting him to make me a list of all those people he's helping out and then have one-on-ones with them and saying, so, are we overburdening you? That'd be what I'd say. But maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Theater Winch Ginger, intentionally vague. Well, either intentionally vague because he's covering for himself, or as Adabisi pointed out, he only believes that he did any good in this guy's life. Because maybe Rob's just telling him what he wants to hear so he doesn't have to actually, you know, risk getting fired or trouble or something else. I don't know. Let's see. Advocate Sibley. That is why I don't believe the anecdote. He doesn't know what happened to him. Well, the anecdote is he had an employee named Rob who marked himself as being in a burnout state. That he didn't have a conclusion to the story doesn't inherently make the anecdote untrue. Right? Well, I mean, yeah, if he's not sure how it resolved itself, if he's not sure whether his method had any assistance in Rob's recovery, whatever his method is, he didn't really describe that either. Yeah, Frosted Glass, list 5 things you did last week. Exactly. Am I talking myself into this one? See, now I'm being all interested. Am I talking myself into this one, or does Advocatus have a point, or am I just like ingrained to like challenge Advocatus? I can't let Advocatus get away with it all the time. How does he keep getting away with it? By making all these good points. Is that it? I just can't cede the floor to Advocatus. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I just don't have any self-esteem anymore. I'm trying so hard to make myself sound important. You know that people There were people on Twitter today that accused me of just trying to sound smart. It happened. It happened like twice. 2 different people that I'm sure aren't bots or anything. It happened twice today. I mean, I could show you. It'd take me a second to actually, pull up the graphics and everything. But I could show you this if you want to see. Hold on. Oh, it's great. It was an argument over the new Thunderbolts movie that's coming out soon. Yeah, I know it's kooky. It's kooky, but that's what it was about. I had made this joke poster about the Thunderbolts. Actually, I should probably show. I got to give the full context here. If I don't give the full context, then I'm probably doing somebody a disservice. Okay, hold on here. Pardon for the mild interruption here, but I at least have to make the point. Somehow, some way, I'll make the point. Where is it now? Where is it? There it is. Okay, so let's do this. So I made a joke poster about the Thunderbolts movie coming up. I did this because the original poster was supposed to be a play off of the Wheaties box. And so I used my YouTube skills to make this, which is Disney Plus and Flop Movie Pop Quiz. Who the F are these guys? Oh, look, it's Bucky. That's the joke. It's like you have a whole bunch of characters that you'd only know anything about if you watched either movies that didn't do that well or Disney Plus series that few people watch, except for Bucky, who's been in like 5 or 6 Marvel movies now. That's the joke. Okay, so I put that up there. I put it up a couple of times now just for giggles because it's just silly. Anybody who saw or heard about the Marvels knows about the power of Disney Plus series and helping out or not helping out characters be established and popular amongst the audience and the fan base. So that's a joke. It doesn't mean much of anything or whatever else. But everybody's like rejoinder was, oh yeah, well, nobody knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before their movie came up. And I said, characters that didn't require having to munge through lame streaming series and flop movies to have an understanding of their place in the setting beforehand. Because Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of a add water and it starts kind of thing. It was built that way. Thunderbolts is bringing together a bunch of characters with established backstories that few people either know or remember. And I was told by this person, your comment shows that you're not a very smart person. And I assured this person that my mommy thinks I'm cool. And then there was this follow-up. You talk like you pretend to be smart. And I admitted he caught me. That happened to me today. That happened to me. That hardship, that burden happened to me. This is all a really complicated way of getting around having to concede that Advocatus Diaboli has a point and circling that square and hitting a button. One of those buttons.
Oh, won't somebody please?
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O.
Okay.
Right?
All right, so our second bingo. Any other arguments for squares to be circled? Put them in the chat now. Let's see. And that is what counts. I know. FDA approved. What is? Oh, my Wheaties box. Yeah. I'm actually kind of proud of that one. I made that look pretty legit to have to, I have not the the top tier graphic editing software. So I had to finagle some tricks to make the original text go away and put in my own text and make everything kind of fit. Yeah, it took a bit. And also to find the right font. I have a gigantic library of fonts that I've collected over the years in trying to match the font in movie posters and advertisements and things to make it look vaguely legitimate for the sake of a joke. Boy, oh boy, I got a giant library. Frosted Glass, thank you so much. Advocatus is the Hannibal to your Clarice, I guess. Ew. I don't even want to go there. Look, Keeverdam, thank you again so much. You're a smarty. Am I one of those candies, one of those tart little candies you get like grab bags and pinatas and things? K. Roberts, deceptive statistics. He was the only one. He was the only essay example for the whole topic demographic. Okay, so the only necessary exit. The only. Okay. See, here's the thing. I can't remember. At any point in the course of this, did he talk, the title aside, at any point did he say Gen Z? Right. He was telling his personal story. So I don't know. I see where you're going. I don't know if there was enough in the presentation to cross that bridge. And when we say statistics, we are looking for something like a numerical chart or graph, or an attempt to use percentages to make a point. I mean, I get where you're going, but I think that might be a step too far. Asan, marginalization. All his fellow NBA mobile players that lost their viewers when Fortnite swept the field. Oh, like he was marginalized because now it wasn't the most popular game. Oh, I like it. Yeah, and well, he felt marginalized, right? He felt he had to quit. He had to give up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like it. That's true. I had been thinking something like that earlier, but I think I forgot about it. Or I think I forgot about it. I did forget about it. Otherwise, why didn't I have said it?
Bingo.
What? Bingo! Yeah!
Of course! Of course!
We have a bingo. Our third bingo. Any other arguments for squares to be circled, guys? Walter Tomaszewski, don't cry, scribe. My cats still love you. And where's the foodie? Yes, the cats are always looking for food, aren't they? They love you for your food. And the love of cats. I was raised by cats, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Walter Tomaszewski. I heard Tom mispronounce your name in a super chat the other day, I think it was. And I smiled to myself. I was like, aha, I still got it. Dear Alexander, he didn't use Gen Z, but he said college students these days, it is implied. Okay, fair enough. But does that reach the threshold of actual statistics used as an element of his presentation? I'm hesitant to say so. I understand where you're coming from. I know we're reaching for the stars here in some cases, but I don't think it quite does it. Without coming up with some numbers, if he had said, I did some research and I found that only 27% of college students actually consume their media from newspapers. Let's say he'd said that. The problem with that is, on the one hand, is it statistics? Yes. On the other hand, is it deceptive? I'd say it sounds reasonable to me. So there's two levels here. First, you have to find the statistics. Secondly, you have to find that it was somehow deceptive, that it was being used inappropriately or tried to be used as a point to be made that was manipulative. And so even if you allow for the fact that he was representing the generation or whatever else, which I don't think he was, because he kept talking about himself mostly, and then he was just talking about work experience in general. He wasn't even talking about like Gen Z work experience, despite what the title said. So I don't think we're quite there. Empress New Mexico, I don't think being an influencer counts as a job, even if it results in a reasonable income. Well, how do you define job? Right? I mean, a job that would be respected by people who have regular, day-by-day jobs, maybe not. But, if you sign contracts, if you're under obligation to fulfill certain things for the sake of a paycheck and so on, if you have to be somewhere and do a thing, even if you're not into it, I don't know. I mean, I made a joke a while back, actually a couple of weeks ago. For the very first time in my life, someone unironically referred to me as an influencer. Finding out that I do YouTube, and it wasn't a plus or a minus. They weren't criticizing me or idolizing me or anything. They just sort of said it nonchalantly as part of the conversation, and I was just like, ew, I cringed inside, like, no, I'm not some vapid Instagram photo taking, lease my Lamborghini trickster or something. Nothing like that. Being a homemaker is a job. Yep. I will never say that my mother going to the effort that she did to raise me and my sister before actually going back to a day-to-day job later on when we were able to take care of ourselves. She was working. That's a job. Let's see. Tier Alexander, the majority of college students using TikTok to get their news, it is deceptive by omission of numbers. But there's no statistics. I know you guys really want to get that square, even if it's not a bingo square. I get it. We're always fighting for that extra square, but I think we might be just pushing it a bit too much. All right, Advocatus, testing me again. Systemic, his reference to sports betting being a problematic thing, and it being a system in and of itself. We could stretch concepts all day to fit the squares. I think we've reached the end of elements of his presentation that were obvious enough that we could circle a square without too much debate. And it was a very repetitive, narrow-minded presentation in the first place without a whole lot of extra. And we got 3 bingos already, guys. That's more than we get on most of these things. So I know there's a competition. I appreciate it. I appreciate the argumentation. I appreciate the pitches. I've been convinced before of things that took me a minute. I think we might have reached our end. I'll give it another minute here in case anybody thinks of anything else. And of course, if you have an argument that has not already been made or want to refine someone else's argument or your own, you can always leave a comment after the video has been posted, or you can make it over on the Discord server. And while I'm saying that, I might as well, as I should have before the show started, prepare a link for the Discord server so I have that ready for when it's time to put out the Discord server. So that being said, there, let me copy that over here, put that there. Okay, any other last minute arguments? Let's see. If I say majority of voters prefer Coke because 29% do, but the other 61 is split between RC, Pepsi, and Tab, is deceptive. It could be, but then you're using numbers and statistics to try to make an argument, and he never did that. He never did that. Kay Roberts, argument for feminism. He was trying to bring back the beehive. Ayo! I mean, yeah. Or what is that called? Is there a name for that haircut? Like an official name, not just like a derogatory name. Is there an official name for that haircut? I'd be curious to know. Angelverse, Scribbles, the influencer. I know. I was like, ugh. I mean, it was so bizarre. As soon as the guy said it, I was just like, like the tendons in my neck kind of stretched backwards and my jaw kind of back in that sort of like disgusted thing. I'm like, ooh, it's, oh boy. The broccoli, says Advocate. Is that really what it's called? Toot Sweet corroborates with broccoli. Oh my gosh. Is it really called the broccoli? The Amy Winehouse. I made an Amy Winehouse joke today. Frosted Glass can back me up on this one. I made an Amy Winehouse meme joke today on Twitters. Oh, there you go. Tedfluencer. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. Do you think I've influenced it? At one point I did think I influenced TED because for a brief time, TEDx started a program called TEDx Circles where you could get together in like some kind of like registration thing on their website, and you could watch TED Talks together as sort of like a group chat meeting. And then these would be things that people could watch or watch along with. And that happened about 2 or 3 years after I'd been doing TEDx for a while, either as regular videos, scripted or otherwise. And I thought, did I do that? I thought that might be cool. But Outfluencer, that's like when you encourage people to leave something. That's what I am. I'm an outfluencer for DEI. Speaking of which, coincidentally enough, tomorrow I plan 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time will be the next installment of DEI Death Watch. I'll take a look at some more stories about the downfall and or the doubling down on DEI. Keep an eye out for that, both on the Discord server and on my Twitter machine. By the way, would you like to join the Discord server? If you'd like to join, the link is in the chat right now. Click on that link. You'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you just have to say the secret word. The secret word will tell me that you actually watched the stream, are not a bot, and of us earned the right, the privilege, the entitlement to join the Discord server. And today's secret word is broccoli. Just say hello, broccoli, and I'll know that you watched the show. Outside of that, you can probably find me unless something comes up. I don't think it will, but you never know. But tomorrow, I'll plug them anyway because we had a raid earlier from them. Tomorrow at 9:05 a.m. Pacific time, noon 05 p.m. Eastern time, midnight's edge in the morning. I hope to be a panelist there tomorrow unless something comes up. But either way, you should watch it regardless. For all the latest in movie news, box office, the buzz on Marvel Comics movies and DC Comics movies and other things in entertainment, check it out there. You'll have plenty of expert knowledge between Tom Connors, Andre Einhar. Someday I'm going to learn to say his last name correctly. I promise. I've been trying it for a long time. Also, maybe Chris Braley will be there. I'm sorry, Braley. I keep saying it's Brawley. I apologize, Chris, in absentia. I don't know. It's just like reflexively. I want to say your name as it appears, but it's Brawley. Culture Casino might show up. I might show up. Who else might show up? Script Doctor might show up. Paul Chatto might show up. Who knows? It's a cavalcade of interesting people with interesting perspectives. Check it out tomorrow morning. And of course, you can always find me here every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for another TEDXcellence. I'll take a look at another off-brand TED Talk. Who knows what next week's episode will bring us? Maybe more Gen Z. Maybe I'll find something. I'll look for something on restorative justice. It's been a while since I've looked at restorative justice. I bet there's a brand new argument for it out there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone here is so well behaved. You have very, very little to do. Everybody who donated either to myself or to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, link at the top of the chat box. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Very much appreciated. On your way out, I'd appreciate it as well if you'd leave a like if you liked it, if a dislike if you didn't like it, and a comment later on if you're watching this in the future. And otherwise, anything else? I am simulcasting on the Twitters. So if you happen to see this posted on the Twitters, either now or in the future, if you could retweet it, I'd appreciate that too. I'm trying to make Twitter a more viable platform for letting people know I exist out there. Out there? Okay, I suddenly went all Louisiana for some reason. Don't know why that is. Anyway, everyone, hope you have a good rest of your Thursday. Hope your Friday ahead of you is a peaceful one. I hope you all have a good weekend ahead of you. I hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.